Hello, and welcome back to the I'd Rather Be Right podcast with Luke and Nate. It is Tuesday, January 24th. I'm here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. It's a bit cold. It's a bit overcast. Nate is hanging out with his pal, who reminds him of his best friends in high school, Marjorie Taylor Greene. It's his favorite person. And he, she makes him feel so comfortable and warm and loved because she, fights for what she believes in. How are you doing, Nate?
Yeah, I mean, I love Marjorie Taylor Greene. She's my bitch.
Did you see? I don't know if it was McCarthy or someone but posted that. They were like, she reminds me of the people I knew in high school. And I was like, you're 50. Like, who cares who you knew in high school, dude?
There was this weekend in SNL. There was a joke by Michael Shea about George Santos, and him being a drag queen. For those of you that don't know, he was actually a drag queen. He denied it, but it was evidence. And they said, the whole joke was the gay community was like, yeah, he was terrible in drag, but we want to let you know that Marjorie Taylor Greene is killing it in drag. His character. I was like, oh my god, so wrong.
That was bad, dude. I cannot believe that George Santos thing. I could rant on him for. That's so crazy.
Yeah,
they're just oh, he's just a pathological liar. No, it's fine. Let's give him some committee positions.
Yep, he's absolutely lying about everything. It's almost hilarious. Oh my god.
And it's clear. They're like, you lied about this. He's like, I didn't. And they're like, no, you clearly did. Yeah, that's
fine. He's lying about the line. He doesn't do the Trump thing where Trump will eventually be like, yeah, so what? And George doesn't even get there.
And the Republicans are just giving him a pass. It's
and
totally
what's even
fine.
funnier though is he lies in ways that are both directions. He lies about very liberal stuff and then very conservative stuff too.
Yeah.
What is he? He said he was part black, right?
Yeah, he did.
He said his parents survived the Holocaust. And yeah, they survived it by not being there. By being Brazilian and Catholic. Technically, I guess you're true. They didn't survive it.
Yeah, they survived it. Yeah, they were in Brazil.
Or sorry, was his grandparents? That was his grandparents because his mom died in 9/11 twice or something.
Oh my god, dude! It's like a comedian. That's something you would hear from a comedian. No, yeah, my grandparents survived 9/11, or my parents survived the Holocaust. But they weren't there; they were in Florida on the beach. And you're like, oh, dude. And he's just, I don't know. Apparently, you can just lie your way into Congress. Why aren't we all doing that?
Because I don't want to be in Congress. Because I'm not insane enough to want to be there.
That's true. That's true. I would like to be a senator, maybe, but I don't know, just in Congress.
I feel like this decade I would not want to be. So until we get serious people in there, I think I just bang my head against the wall.
It's got to be if you're a sane person, you got to just be dude, what the hell is this?
I feel like in the Clinton years it would have been kind of fun. In Clinton year wasn't full of just complete freaking morons.
Sure, yeah, and they even balanced the budget.
Yeah,
it's pretty great.
Yeah, so I would probably have done it during Clinton years. So maybe in a decade when things get a little calmer. I think we have a wild decade ahead of us, and then I think things get calmer again.
Yeah. I think it is. I think a lot of things are going to change in the next 10 years. Unfortunately, we're only talking about 1 year here. Maybe we'll do an episode about 10-year predictions, although that sounds almost impossible to do. How would you know what's going to happen 10 years?
I don't even think I could do that. Yeah, I really don't think I could do it. It'd be very, very hard to do that.
We'd probably be so wrong, not even close, just completely. Things would be way crazier.
It would be interesting. We should probably do a 5-year and 10-year one and just ask some absurd questions that we'd love to know the answer to and just take a guess.
Mm-hmm.
So will general AI exist in 10 years? I think would be an interesting question.
Oh god, that's terrifying. Yeah, there's actually a lot of stuff we could probably talk about. That might be. We should do that. I'm down.
We should do it more as an exercise of things we're thinking about and not really guessing. But like we'll do it as a guess. We'll do it as a guess, but we'll be like, yeah, we don't really ascribe any importance to this because I just don't think there's any way to do it. 5 years, maybe I think it's possible, but like, 10 years, I think.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
there's some things you could probably get right about 5 years, like who's the president going to be, right? Like that you probably could get that one right. What the makeup of Congress is, like some of the things you could do.
Yeah,
10 years is though. Because
but even 5 years is kind of hard. So Obama, he was in the talking when he ran, like he was in like the discussion when he ran, but no one really thought he could do it. So like he had done the only big thing he had done before was he had had the Democratic Convention speech, right? So nominating speech. Right. That was sort of his big call to fame, and then he sort of ran up very quickly actually. From there, because he was a junior senator and immediately like left midterm to go run for president. I think I don't think he made the whole term. So, so I think it actually could be quite hard, but not impossible. You know what I mean? Like you kind of need to guess. Is that one of those times when we're going to have a person who's like Pete Buttigieg? Is he going to make the run? Like he's on the people's radar, but I wouldn't call him the front runner right now.
Right.
But I think it's absolutely possible. But I think he's like, you know what I mean? Is he just big enough to do it and just persuasive enough to do it? And is everyone else just terrible enough for him to do it? So that'd be the way you had to think about it. I don't think it's that hard. I think it's easy, but I don't think it's impossible.
No. But even if
God knows,
he won,
10 years.
Yeah, well, exactly. Even if he won, right?
10 years,
and
I feel
then
like
got reelected,
I don't know.
He would be done like by the time the 10 year. Even if we had a president serve 2 terms, they'd be done in 10 years. Like dang, that's hard. Something fun.
2024. So I guess he would be done, right? So it'd be 2024. I mean, he'd be
right there. So, right at the end.
All right.
That's what blows my mind about politicians, man. You're like signing up for a job for a long time. I'm like, it's a long time to be in a job. I've never done a job that long.
I do the opposite. I'm at a decade. I'm coming up on a decade at my current job.
Dang, that's wild.
It's like next week. Next week, I think it's my anniversary.
Of 10 years? Nice. Congratulations.
Yeah, been there a long time. So that's possible. All right. Anyway, let's jump into our predictions. So we're doing our second round of 2023 predictions. So this is all stuff that we think is going to happen in 2023. We got the economy questions. So these are sort of basic economy questions. We got some specific company / general market questions. That is mostly Elon Musk with a little bit of Fortune 500, S&P 500. We got some Bitcoin cryptocurrency questions, some personal questions about our lives, and then some questions about the podcast. So let's see if we can get through them all.
And these are all in the next 12 months.
These are all in the next
predict here.
Yes. I'm going to hide this, by the way.
Really we're coming up on the end of January, so next 9 months.
So next, yeah. We're running a little low. We're running a little slow here. So okay. So the first question is: will CPI economic questions? Will CPI fall below 5%?
This one's interesting, especially because like whatever you think this one. I mean, I guess this one and the next one could be right, but is it going to fall below?
Yeah, actually, let's read the next 3 so we kind of know. They're all CPI for the next 3. The one after that will be: will CPIs rise above 7.1%? That was the old December mark. It's already fallen some, just so you know. Will CPI rise above 9.1%? That was the peak in 2022, June specifically.
So those got to 9.1?
It did. So this is year over year CPI. So annualized.
True. It's so.
I mean, I'm 50-50 on whether or not it gets below 5%. I can believe it. I can believe it gets down to 4.5, 4.
I could. For some reason, I feel like it's going to move slower.
Well, it's moving decently fast now. I think it's 6 something right now. So, I mean, I'm 50-50. I'm probably slightly no, but I don't think I'm probably no, like 51%. I really don't think I'm strong either direction. So I'm really happy.
Yeah, well, and I want it to go down, right? Like you want it. I want it to be below 5%. So I'm going to say yes.
You're going to say yes.
But then does that mean the other 2 I'm a no on? I'm probably no on the 9.1, but then 7.1, could it go back up?
Okay. You're a yes. I'll put you as yes. I'm sort of. I'll just take the other one and no, but I'm gonna go 51%. So I make it basically nothing or lose almost nothing. So
I'm
yay,
gonna
fun.
go, yeah. I'm pretty confident. I'm gonna go 60%. I don't know if that's. I guess that's maybe not pretty confident, but
Okay,
more
60%.
confident than not.
Okay. Let's see. Okay. The next one will be: will the CPI rise above 7.1%?
I feel like I have to be a no on this one, but could it dip and then go back up?
So I think
could
a
it go
lot.
back up and
A
then dip?
lot. So I think the odds of it are. I think the real question is. Well, the next one is the question: will the Fed slow rates 75 basis points raised to say 50 basis points? Will the Fed pause raising rates? Will the Fed reverse course and lower rates? Will Fed resume quantitative easing? So we're kind of in the what does the Fed do? I think question. I think it's and then how much of a lag time between the time they do it do we see this thing?
Exactly. It's kind of looking like he might raise rates again. Which if he does that again, I see it's going to be hard for CPI, I think, to go above 7.1%. I think that is going to crush the economy and he's going to leave it there. He's going to make us feel the pain. I think 9.1 is probably out of field, but 7.1, I'm going to go with no. I'm going to go with the hopeful. I'm going to go with the optimistic side today.
No. Okay. You know what? I'm looking back at 5% CPI, and I'm actually going to go with yes. I think it's actually more likely to happen than not. And I'm sort of near you. I'm going to go 55%. Otherwise, I think it needs to go a little more likely. Because the thing is, I think we're falling right now. We are falling right now from 7.1, just so you know. Okay, you were for CPI above 1.7.1. What was your percentage?
Yeah. I'm going to say there's a lot of signs pointing to it's probably not going to. I got to leave some room for the 9.1. I'm pretty confident on that one. So this one I'm going to say about the same 60%. I think that makes sense. Maybe even more. Let me 65%.
55. Okay. I keep hitting this. I hate this. Okay.
This is one I hope I'm not wrong on.
65%. Okay.
I'll actually feel really bad if I am wrong on it.
So no. So what? I think it rises above 7.1%. No. 60%. I'm probably less confident than you. And I'll just go ahead and 9.1 is no. So it's going to be a little bit more certain, right? So no, it's 75% is probably where I would be. That's probably what I would be.
Yeah, that's where I was going to go to.
You're gonna go no to 75% as well for the. So this is for people that are listening. Will CPI rise above 9.1%? That will be past the peak in 2022, namely June. And we're both saying no, 75%. So we're pretty close on this one.
I mean, unless things go extremely wrong, but I almost I don't like if we try to steel man, right? So let's take the opposite argument. Like, how could we get to 9.1%? I almost don't see any way. Like, the Fed would have to come all the way off, I think, restart stimulus, but I don't think that's going to happen.
I think the answer is the crash has to come soon, right? Sooner than later. If it comes like 6 months, so let's assume we have a massive crash, like a COVID crash, like a very fast one. When I say massive, steep, quick, and the Fed has to reverse course completely on everything. So they're immediately dropping all the rates to zero. They start quantitative easing again, and pumping liquidity in the system, trying to save the system. And then you need like 3 to 6 months, at least 3 months, for it to come across. And even 6 months, I'm not even sure it's coming across. So it has to come in the first 6 months probably. And then that has to all happen quick. And then you probably still might not make it. So you know what? I'm actually a little higher than I'm probably going to go 85% here. I just think it's very, very high. Which makes me think CPI rising above 1% harder as well. I'm going to raise that up to, let's call that 70%. And then will CPI fall below 5%? That's the real problem. Is like, how far can they get this thing down before they end up in this problem? Maybe I need to go a little higher. Maybe I need to go yes to 75.
Part of me feels like it might just get stuck at like 6 for a couple of years.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It could, but it's all it has to do is get below 5% for like a one little bit, and you're there.
Yeah, or even just like it slowly comes down, but it's real slow because the economy doesn't really seem to want to go into a recession. It doesn't seem to want to. I mean, there's been a bunch of layoffs and things like that, but housing prices are like, you know what I mean? It's just like we're not really feeling the effects yet. It seems like.
So maybe the yes 70%. That's maybe that's what we're selling at.
Yeah, I like your numbers better. You might hopefully you beat me on this one.
Okay, I'll do that. But I mean, the thing is, if it does get below 5% quickly, then I think the odds go up quicker that we have a Fed crash. So they're sort of in this issue where they're pulling so much liquidity out that they're just going to crash it if they're not careful. So, okay, that goes to the next question, which is, will the Fed slow rates? So instead of slow the rising rates, how about that? Rising rates. So right now they're doing 75 basis points. That's what they've been doing. So let's say 75 down to 50. I think that's almost a certainty. I'd put that as a very high possibility. So I would say yes. And I'm not sure I would say 95, but 90%, I'm probably put 90%. That's probably good enough for me. I'm pretty confident of that. I'm probably
also very confident.
I could probably be a little even more confident, but I'll just leave it at 90%. So
I'll do. I gotta catch up a little bit because you're beating me on the CPI one, so I'm gonna do 95.
Okay. All right, a little more aggressive there. Will the Fed pause raising rates? Yes, I think that's likely to happen this year.
Sure. Right, because how many opportunities do they do that in a year? They have like what, 4? Because they do it every quarter?
I think it's one every month. Every month.
Oh, they can do it every month?
I think it's talked about every month. Yeah.
Well, then, so what's the win condition? I mean, if they do it up until November, then they don't do it in December.
I think they already started lowering it. What was the last rate hike? Let's double check what the last rate hike was.
No, I just mean like if they pause raising rates, like for how long, right?
Yeah, but what was the last one? For raises by half a percentage point in last. Oh, so they already did a half percentage because we were slow to record here when we wrote this. So the answer to that is they've already done it. So maybe we got to write this as.
Will they do it again?
Just say 50 to say 25. That's what we have to write it as. Since they're already doing it, my thing hasn't changed one bit. And in fact, I actually might raise it up. I'm gonna go. If you're 95, I want to go 92.5.
Yeah, so I thought they already did it at 5, but
yeah, so they're taking it off the accelerator. So actually, you know what? I'm gonna go. Now I want game 30. Okay, let's just leave it at that. I'm like, I can go to 97.5 and drive this over 100. Okay. So with the Fed pause raising rates, again, I'm still pretty high about that. So,
but what does that exactly mean, right? How long do they have to pause?
So I would just say they just decide not any pause. Just we're not going to raise it at all this time. We're not going to lower it. We're not going to raise it. We're just doing nothing.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm super confident on that one too.
So actually, you know what? I'm a little lower. I'm a little less confident on this one, but I'll explain why. If it gets pushed into the situation, they might get pushed and have to skip over pausing. Like that's the thing. It's actually quite possible they skip over pausing. They end up, dropping the rates, and then suddenly they're like, "Oh shit, we got a liquidity crisis," and now we got to reverse course and start lowering rates, and they never actually pause it. It's possible.
Man, that would be
possible outcome.
Yeah, it's possible.
So I'm just going to say yes, 75%. I think it's still likely that they pause it, but I think that the most reasonable, the reason they wouldn't do it is that situation. And like, how likely do I think that situation is going to happen? I said originally it was yes, it's 75. I'll go yes, 80. I'll raise it up a little bit. Yes, 80. So 20% chance that we just skip pausing altogether. That would be the outcome. That would cause that.
I'm a little dumber than you, so I'm going to go yes, 95%. I don't. The economy to me doesn't look like it's gonna. It's moving slowly. Is why.
Yeah, I mean the question is. I think the real question is: Is the next one at 25 basis points, and then the next one is something in between? You know what I mean? Are they just going to walk it into it, or are they going to go 50 basis points for a little while, and then before they come down, and then they're going to get themselves into trouble because they're going to go too far?
Yeah.
Anyway, so will the Fed reverse course and lower rates? I think I'm really asking whether or not the odds are that we have a liquidity crisis here. I think that's what we're asking. I'm 50-50 on that. Probably on the no.
Yeah, if it happened, it would have to be at the. I think it would probably maybe happen towards the end of the year. I don't think. I don't.
I mean, that's
I
the
don't
thing.
know.
If it happens in December, they won't make the decision until January. So that's the
I'm
other
towards
thing,
the no on this one for sure. I don't think they're going to lower it. I don't think they want to lower it.
But it's really a question. I think the liquidity crunch could happen in the next 6 months, and it could happen the next year, and they could do it. So I'm going to say no. I'm really not that confident on this. I'm going to say no 51%. I'm pretty much a coin flip on this.
So what does that mean? Like, people don't, like, what do you mean by liquidity crisis? The government?
So there's a credit crunch, and businesses can't pay the payroll and everything else, and they're like, oh shit, we got to inject liquidity in the system so people can make, take out debt. Or
51.
Massive. Man,
I don't know. I'm positive vibes today. I'm going to say no 75%.
Okay. By the way, this is a 3-pointer, people, just so you guys know. So the other one was, we sort of did a 1 point for will the Fed slow rising rates, will the Fed pause rising rates, that's 2, will the Fed reverse lower rates. Part of the reason I was thinking about this is I do think it gets continually harder to make this prediction. So that's why we're doing that. Okay. Does the Fed resume quantitative easing? Well, I think if they lower rates, they're probably going to be forced into it. But I don't think it'll be necessarily the first reaction. The first reaction may just be lowering rates. So I'm going to say no, say 65%.
Yeah.
That'll be my guess.
Man,
it's a 4-point question, by the way, for everyone.
I might look like a real fool at the end of this year going really hard on these. I'm going to say no because I feel like I have to be a little bit more confident on this one. So I'm going to say no 80%.
80%. Okay. Well, we have some differences here. Okay. Will unemployment rise? So this is interesting. Unemployment has actually not been rising despite all those tech layoffs, and we've had tons of tech layoffs. And so we're getting actual increase in jobs in the manufacturing base. So we are reshoring jobs, people. And that's actually happening faster than and people just deciding to exit the workforce altogether. It's ended up reducing, as actually preventing the unemployment from rising. So it's actually going.
I think
it's actually going down.
I think we're going to see some big changes where people are going to bring more jobs here, like we've been seeing. But also, I mean, it's just the tech industry, and from when me talking to finance people,
we should be a little more specific. I realize we should be a little more specific here. We said, will unemployment rise? And what is it? Are we asking?
Yeah.
Are we saying it from the last time? Or are we saying what is the current? Right. What's the current? I would say let's pick the current unemployment rate and say will it go above or below that?
Yeah, that's better.
But I feel like I don't know. Because you could have like one
looking for this, but so far it's only tech, and it doesn't seem like many people are worried about tech layoffs.
So right now it's 3.5%. So let's call it that. Will unemployment rise above 3.5%? Meaning we are losing jobs. And for what it's worth, in April 2020 it was 14.7.
You should do this one like the CPI. You should do this one like the CPI.
It's been at 3.5 or 3.6. Are you going to say add a few different ones?
Yeah, like 3.5, 4.5, 5.5, or something like that.
Okay, let's do that. Unemployment rise about 3.5. We'll run about 4 and 4.5. And then 5. We'll do 5 of them. How about that?
Yeah.
I feel like that's a lot of people. So unemployment rise 4. We can put the other stuff in here later. Unemployment rise above 4%. Unemployment rise above 4.5. And will unemployment rise above 5%? We'll call it that. How about that?
Sounds good.
I mean, we actually do a little more. We could do it 3.5, 4.5, 5.5, and 6.5. You want to do it that way?
Yeah.
Do it that way? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Give us a little more. Okay. 4.5, 5.5, and 6.5. Okay, that's the question now. So we're starting at 3, 4, 5. I mean, maybe the answer is 3, 3, 3, and 3 across the board. Just 3, 3, 3. What do you think? That makes sense. For points. Okay, so points are 3 points for each one of these. For the first one, points rise above 3.5%. I'm of the yes here. I think 3.5 is pretty close to full employment. So
yeah, it's
more
pretty
likely
low.
to go up. Like it's pretty more likely to go up as we're having a liquidity crisis.
I'm looking at it all the way back to January 2003. Just for those listening, it was 5.6. The lowest point since then was 4.4. Then we had the 2008. It went up. And then its low was 3.5 February 2020, right before it went up to 14%. Then COVID hit.
And we injected a lot of liquidity in the system to bring it way down. And we did.
And now it's back to 3.5.
3.5, yeah.
So that's pretty much the lowest it gets, it seems like.
And in 2022, it's been jostling above it all the way up to 4.
Yeah.
It wasn't until 2021 when it was 4.5 to give you guys an idea. So I'm a yes, probably not even 80%. I'm probably higher than that. I'm probably good 85%. Probably where I'm at.
I'll go yes 95%. I'm going to go hard on that one. It's going to get harder.
Yeah, that's true. I'm thinking maybe a little higher, but I don't know if I should. But if you're going to go 95, I'll be less scared of going into 90. How about that?
Yeah.
Will unemployment rise above 4.5%? That's a little harder.
That one, it is a little harder. That one's.
I still think the liquidity crisis is coming, and we're going to see it go down, go rise. So I'm going to say yes.
Say yes on that one.
Yeah, but I don't know how likely I am. Certainly, I'm like 75% at a minimum, at the highest confidence level. I'm not even sure I'm that. How about 70%?
I mean, man, the history here is really hard to follow.
Yeah, the question is when the liquidity crisis come and how long does it last? Yeah. I think those are the two questions that are kind of unanswered.
So,
and also where in the economy does it show up?
Yeah, if it doesn't hit 4.5, like, then I mean, it's got the Fed's really trying to make it. So I'm going to say yeah. They have a lot of powerful tools. I'm going to say yes. Ah, man, you put 70. Am I that confident? 5.5. That's kind of where it gets a little bit difficult. I think if it gets past 4.5, it shoots real high. Wait, did I say yes? Employment will it rise above 4.5? Yeah. Because the Fed's going to do that. I'm going to say 60. Oh, I don't know. Let's do 65%.
65. Okay.
I'm fairly confident, but
okay.
It could take longer than
rise above 5.5. I'm still probably in the yes corner here, and the question is how far. I'm probably at like a 60%. I think. I'm not very confident at this point anyway.
Yeah, I think
on the 6.5%, I'm going to say no and go 60% on that one. Go the opposite direction.
Yeah, that's where we're going to differ slightly. 5.5. I mean, it's only really been, unless it's coming down, it doesn't really hit. It only hit 5.5 in the run up to the 2008 financial crash. So, well, and I guess it was above that back in 2003 as well. Coming out of the .com boom, I assume. So I'm going to say no on that one, unless something
on 5.5. Okay,
5.5. Yeah.
What means you're no on 6.5 as well?
Right. Yeah. No. Yeah. I was always a no on 6.5. So that's that's about. I'm going to go. Man. I think I'm gonna float at 65%. I think I'm pretty confident on that one.
Okay, 65% on the no for 5.5, which is higher than that.
And 6.5, I'm like, let's go 80. Let's go hard.
Okay.
I don't think it's getting that high. Not in 12
Go
months,
hard.
for sure.
Okay. That closes out our economy questions. And now we
Those
move
are
into
hard.
specific. Yeah. Now we move into specific companies, general market. Oh, but keep in mind, we've got to do 3 points of 100%. I think you already covered.
I think I already have hit mine.
No, sorry, we said 5. I think we said 5, right? I think you already hit it. You hit 1 on here, you hit the 4 here, and you're done. Yeah. So yours were the besides Trump, when the Republican announced they are officially running for president. That was a 1-pointer. You went 100%. Yes. By the way, exploratory committees don't count for those that are listening. And the other question you did to get there was, will Joe Biden officially announce he's running for president? And you said no, 100%. And that gets you to your 5% your 5-point requirement that we must pick.
No, that's not what I said no on.
Or 0%.
I said no on if they'll end the filibuster.
Oh, sorry. I picked the wrong. Yeah, you're right. I read that. That would be a really weird one to say no. That'd be a yes one. Democrats. Sorry. Well, Democrats it'll end the filibuster 4-point question. That's 1%. 100%. So there you go. Sorry. Yeah, that's stupid. I mean, you can't read across lines. Okay. So specific companies, general market questions. Will Elon sell private shares of SpaceX? This is sort of a question about how badly did he fuck up the Twitter buying Twitter. So that's what this question is really about. For those of you that don't know,
I'm going to say
that
yes.
is 100% yes. He's already he's marketing. By the way, for those that don't know you, he's already saying out things. I think he may be stuck
privately.
Yeah, private. So these are the private shares. So you're not taking.
It's not the first time he's done it, but I think he'll definitely have to do it again. I wouldn't
so
even be surprised if a lot of the people who gave him money for Twitter.
I thought he owned all of it. I thought he owned all of
it. I think he's raised money before. I think from other people.
Okay,
maybe friends and family. But I think a lot of people might have given him money for the Twitter deal, hoping that they could backdoor into the SpaceX deal. So I'm gonna say like 90%.
I went 85%. You went.
That's kind of high. That might be a little too high, but it's fine. We'll go with it.
Okay.
How are we going to know? Would we know?
They'll announce it. Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay.
Well, it'll leak, I think. Will Elon take SpaceX public? I'm actually of the no, but it's a real risk here. So. I mean, and this is he's going to get forced into it if he has to. But I think his first choices will be private sales. So I don't think he's going to do it. I'm going to say 75% share. It really depends on how badly this liquidity crisis can he turn Twitter around. There's a lot of things going on where he won't have to bail Twitter out. And the other thing is he could just declare bankruptcy on Twitter. That's the other choice.
Yeah,
and just cut his losses altogether.
Yeah,
he can do that.
I used to believe
he really doesn't want to do that.
Yeah, I used to believe in him a lot more. I don't know. I'm like, oh, now I don't know. Who knows what would happen? So, I'm like a no 65%. But he's a little more unpredictable than I previously thought.
65%. Okay. Oops. 65%.
So you're a little bit more confident than me on that one.
Those of you that are watching, I'm sorry. I am jiggling my computer thing. I apparently did not charge my external keyboard, so you guys are getting all the fun. I'm going to try to quickly plug it in. Maybe I can clean it up a little bit later. Okay. Will Tesla stock price fall below $100?
Now we're trying to time the market.
I'm going to say yes. I think it's going to.
You do?
It's got to go a lot further to go down to the EPS. The earnings per share are way too high, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I think it's a matter of time.
So it needs to lose.
I'm going to say yes, 85%. I'm pretty sure about that.
20, 40. I mean, it needs to lose like, what, $40, which is about 40%, 40% further down.
It's been up since I posted that video, I think, which was early. So it's done pretty well for the year because we've got that new. Everything's up a little bit more for the year, I think. So he's riding that liquidity time.
Yeah, that one's hard. I'm
not think more liquidity is coming out, so I think it probably will. Maybe I'm not quite as confident as 85, but I'm going to bring it. I'm going to say yes, 75. I still pretty much think it's going to happen. So yes, 75.
I'm actually going to say no on this one, but I'm not super confident. I'm saying no like 55%. I really don't know. That one's really hard.
Okay.
Because I don't know why
Twitter
it would or why it wouldn't, right? I think if Elon just kind of shuts up, and who knows, maybe they come out with a Cybertruck this year, like it explodes, right? Like,
Yeah. So next question is, will Twitter become worth more than Elon paid for it, $45 billion? And I think that answer is no. He's lost so much.
Billion.
He's lost so much of Twitter value, and he's fucking it up so gloriously. I'm 85%. Actually, I'm probably 90% on that. I'm pretty confident. He's just not. I mean, no, fuck it. I'm 95. Go big or go home. I think, yeah. Fuck this one up.
Well, in a year, 44 billion.
By the way, this is going to be really hard to know because it's private. It's a private company, but
yeah. But he could probably sell it at a 10x multiple if he did it right. So that means if he got revenues,
he has to do it in 2023. He's got 11 months.
He would need to get revenues to 5 billion, and then he would probably be in the green. So what's the current revenues? 21 billion.
Yeah.
So that means that he probably can't do. Then he's probably not getting it. Well, he's probably not getting a 10x multiple then. So what is he? So what? Man, how would you? I guess it's a social media, so I guess it's not a SaaS product. Man, he's got a hard, and so it sells advertising money. That's a hard multiple.
Well, that and he's got he's doing the $8 now $11. I think it's $8 you buy online, $11 you buy through Apple to cover.
He's going to need to I think what he's going to need to do is bring back advertising, maybe bring back Vine. Like he's going to have to do something to increase advertiser spend on it. But I don't know. I don't understand how they're.
I think the first thing to do that is not be fucking psychotic, which unfortunately
he's got to chill for sure. I think it's I think it's possible.
I think possibly does it
for September.
I don't think it's possibly does it in 2023. I think it's highly unlikely.
Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong.
So keep in mind, this is an option. It says 2023. 2023 is not that long.
Tesla. I was looking at Tesla revenues. My bad. I was looking at Tesla revenues. Twitter ones
are only going to be posted up to the sale date, right? Because it's a private company.
Right.
The real problem with this question is it's going to be hard for us to know the valuation, but we'll probably have some sense of it. We'll have some sense of whether it's in the tank or not.
So it makes about $1 billion a quarter. So about $4 billion. I mean, so he needs to increase it by about 25, 35. He needs to increase revenues 25, 30%, maybe 50%. And then get a 10x multiple and a 10x multiple in 11 months. That's hard. I'm definitely not at 95%. I think it's possible. He could do it. It's not an idea issue. It's definitely just hire someone to do it for you, dude. What are you doing? But 11 months is not a long time. I'm going to say, again, 60%. It's a lot more. I think it's very likely, but who knows? Maybe he bought Twitter for his girlfriend. He doesn't actually want to make money. So
for his girlfriend.
Yeah. Because Grimes is obsessed with it or whatever.
Well, maybe. Who knows? Okay. Well, any Fortune 500 company declare bankruptcy? That's our next question.
There's a lot of companies. That's 500 companies. I don't know them all off the top of my head. That's sort of what people are waiting for, though. If that's going to be the big issue. If a huge company declares fortune, or if a huge company declares bankruptcy,
yeah, especially one that's
the catalyst.
Yeah.
That's going to fuck everything up.
That's a liquidity crisis, probably brewing, if not.
See, how many Fortune 500 companies declare bankruptcy every year? Probably not very many, huh?
Yeah, what are the average? Yeah, what's the average?
Let's see. Is that... I don't know. It doesn't look like it. Maybe be that largest bankruptcies in the United States. But at the same time, it could be what if it's a General Motors type situation? Or is Carvana a Fortune 500 company?
$500 companies to declare bankruptcy. I'm searching it up as well. To declare bankruptcy.
Carvana is. I'm going to say yes then, because they're going to declare bankruptcy this year for sure.
Carvana, what do they do?
They sell cars.
Yeah, I didn't know that, but like,
car vending, they just sell used cars.
Gotcha. Oh yeah, they're gonna get fucked. They're gonna get fucked from the because right now there's a whole lot of there's a whole problem in the car market right now where people are underwater. So people are gonna, and other companies are giving them. So normally you don't give a loan if you already have a car loan standing, right? They look at you and go blah blah blah. Hey, you already got this. But they realize that they're already underwater in that other one, so they're going to pay the one that they're not underwater. So there's a lot of car companies that are going to have real problems. So yeah, I can see that.
Yeah,
that'd be a good one.
I was no, and then I remembered Carvana. I'm like, ooh, they're shooting. Really by the way, their CEO is worth $100 million. So and by the way, Carvana, they've never made $1. They've never made $1 of profit ever in their entire existence. They've lost money every year.
I'll say yes, 60%. I don't know. I think it's just very hard to predict this.
It is, and you never know. Like someone might step in and give them liquidity for some reason. But I'm a little bit more confident than you. I'm gonna say yes, like 75%. Maybe should go a little harder on that one, but
yes, 75%. Okay. Yes. 75. I don't know why it's doing that. 75%. Okay. Then the last question here is: will the S&P 500 reach a new all-time high? I'm a no here. I really think this is really hard to pull it off. Like the problem is you have to have a liquidity crisis, then you have to the bailout, and then you have to have enough time for that to seep through and drive prices high enough, and it has to all happen with probably a minimal amount of so I think we're also having a problem now where people don't trust the Fed anymore. So even with all of that, I think you're still going to have high interest rates. So
there's no way,
I'm just like no 95. It's probably what I am really at. I really don't think it's very likely.
Yeah, I'm same. No.
95 is okay.
Yeah. I'll go with 95.
I think it's very, very hard to do this. Okay.
Yeah.
And the next questions are Bitcoin cryptocurrency questions. We'll see. This is the part where some people turn on and turn off the podcast. So will CZ or Cheng, what was his name? What's CZ's name? He's the head of Binance for those that don't know.
Binance guy, yeah.
But I don't know how to say his name. Changpeng Zhao, I think is Changpeng Zhao. So, but anyway, everyone calls him CZ. Will CZ be indicted for any crime related to Binance? So, we're not talking about something that has nothing to do with Binance, like the sexual assault allegation. And I'm probably no, but I think they want to. The U.S. wants to.
Seems like they want to. But does he have any skeletons in his closet? He seems pretty. I feel like he would have been taken out by now.
I think one of the problems is we don't even know what country they're set in and all that other weird shit.
Right.
So.
Right. Is he Chinese? Like then.
Yeah, he'll never be. Whether or not he's Chinese, he's got a Chinese background, but he's also born in Canada. But we don't know where the company resides, so we don't know where the company resides. So we also
that one's going to be hard. And even if they want to, like, and he just lives in Canada or lives in China, like, we'll never get him.
I don't know 85%, and my lack of confidence is really just don't know enough about CZ or Binance situation to make it 100%. Really like.
I thought, darn it! I thought you were going to educate me. I'm going to put no. 80%. I'm a little less confident, but still pretty confident.
Okay. Will any other cryptocurrency exchange go bankrupt? So not FTX. But
are there any left?
He says with a laugh. I mean, yeah, there are other ones.
Yeah. I mean, Coinbase is still around.
Coinbase is around. Yeah. So there's a bunch.
That would be bad.
There was one that just got attacked that no one had heard of, BitZao or whatever, or BitZao or Bit something or other for Russia.
I think no. I think we're out of the systemic risk part of this, and people who weathered it are fine. Because they would have gone under already. I think so. I think everyone who's around is
largely correct, and the next big liquidity crisis will be likely a fast one. So they'll probably be able to survive that too, I would imagine. Yeah, so I'm of the no. But I don't know how confident I really am with this. Probably
Yeah.
no 70%.
Yeah, we're thinking the same thing. I don't know.
I mean, I
Like,
think
does
there's
Coinbase
a
have
lot
any
of just
skeletons in
unknown
their closet?
unknowns. Coinbase, I think, is probably likely to survive, at least this round.
I'm gonna go 75%.
That was a 3-point question for those people that are listening. Okay, the next question. Does Amazon start accepting any cryptocurrency as payment for its retail customers?
Mm,
The next one will be about Bitcoin specifically. Yeah, I'm
I don't
no.
think so.
I'm no, and I think I'm probably I'm slightly less confident than the Bitcoin one. So I'll say no 85%. Actually, no, I'm going to say no 90%. So
I don't know if I'm that confident. I could see a
what
promotional thing towards the end of the year even.
Yeah. So 85%. I'll say no 85%.
I'm going to say, I'll say 75% no.
75% no. This is where you made money last one on Chipotle and burritos, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
They did something for a promotional. So does Amazon start accepting Bitcoin specifically as payment for its retail customers? To be fair, I think if it's going to accept one, it's most likely to accept Bitcoin. So I actually don't think it's that much difference. So still probably no, and slightly less confident because it's possible to decide something. So I'll do like 87.5%. I think if they're gonna do one, it probably will be Bitcoin. But
I should have been more confident on the other one. But if it is going to be them, it's going to be Bitcoin. Are they going to do Bitcoin? Maybe if it rallies again.
Yeah.
They're into it. I mean, am I going to be more bullish on a Bitcoin prediction than you? I don't see Amazon. No, I don't. Amazon's too steady hand. They don't do a lot of craziness. I'm going to say no. 85%.
85%. So you think there's a 10% difference between them accepting anyone and then Bitcoin specifically?
No, like I said, I probably should have been a little bit more confident even on that one.
Yeah, I think I would say I agree with that because I just don't think 5 or 2.5% is about. I give it 2.5, but I think it could be 5%. I'd give this one.
Yeah, no, like it's definitely like if they did it, it's going to be Bitcoin. It's not going to be any other one for sure.
Yeah. I think it's higher.
Is that true though?
That's why. I think it's unlikely, which is why I gave it 2.5. I mean, I think it's certainly if cryptocurrency includes Bitcoin, which in this question that it absolutely is intended, then the odds are slightly better. How much better is it that it's not Bitcoin, but it's one of the many other ones?
Yeah, I just like of all of
2.5% is exactly what I. That's what I gave. I just don't think it's very likely, but I do think it's technically it's more likely. Technically, that makes more.
All the big companies, I just don't think Amazon is the one to like do stuff. They're just very even keeled. You know what I mean? They just kind of.
And I don't know that they have that many. The other thing is, I don't know they have many retail customers outside of the West. Like that's the real thing. Like if you're going to do this, you're going to do this in a place. So either do it for the marketing, benefits, which I don't think exist right now with the current market of cryptocurrency right now. It's just not. No one's talking about it. So that's not really going to help you right now.
Yeah.
So then what's the other reason to do it? You're operating in a country where people have trouble buying with their home currency, right? And that's not where Amazon is. So
there's a third scenario where, because Amazon has a lot of, citizen sellers, right? Like you and I could just like get a product and sell it on Amazon, and maybe they demand to be paid in Bitcoin, and Amazon makes that available, and they take their portion to sell it immediately. But I want to get paid in Bitcoin. But how likely are they to do that? It's not huge, but they might eventually do it, but probably not right now.
Oh, I think they will eventually do it. The question is when.
Yeah,
I just don't think it's this year.
Probably not when everything is going to shit everywhere.
Anyway, do you want to change your 75% bet upward a little bit?
Yeah, let's go. Yeah, let's bump that one up to 85. Oh, well, you're at 85. I'm gonna go a little bit. I'm gonna go 83. I guess I'll go a little bit under you.
Okay. All right. The next one is: does Apple create or add a cryptocurrency wallet to iOS, perhaps through Apple Wallet?
Yeah,
I think this is a better chance.
Yeah,
but I don't think it's a very good chance. So I'm going to say no.
It seems kind of chic. Like it might be like a cool thing that they like release on a.
But this year, it's something I don't see it. So I'm going to say they're also usually not the first to do that. So
Yeah,
I'd say no,
that's true.
80%. And then the next one will be Bitcoin specific. So I'll do that at the same time, and I'd say no. If they do it, most likely to be Bitcoin, but this is a little bit more likely to be something else. So I'll say no, 85%.
Yeah. So
I can see them try. I can see Apple creating its own cryptocurrency.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right. Yeah. I'm gonna say no, 80%. Yeah. Oh, that's what you said too. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Oh, these are two questions.
Yeah. That's for the cryptocurrency generally, and the other one for Bitcoin specifically.
I mean, I'm gonna say like no, but 82%. Like I think they're pretty even. But you're right. They could create their own node, but I feel like that time is probably past. I think maybe next year. I don't know. It's so hard to do these because it would definitely be a marketing stunt.
I feel like it's the next bull market, right? The next bull market is more likely to happen.
Yeah.
The next question is: will a U.S. non-blockchain, non-Bitcoin publicly traded company that has to date not added Bitcoin to their treasury add it to their treasury in 2023? We asked this question last time. Didn't happen. The closest we got was, I think, E&Y out of Canada added both Bitcoin and Ethereum to the balance sheet, but they're not publicly traded and they're not U.S.
Yeah.
And that was a little bit hard. So I think it's probably, I don't remember what I did last year. What did I do last time? I actually kind of know what I did last time because I think it's less likely this year than it is last year.
I agree.
Because it's not in the bull market. Let's see, what was it? So what was my thinking last year? Just to give me an idea. It wasn't, I thought it was yes, 90%. Wow, shit. I was way too bullish on that. I do think it was more likely. I still don't think it's going to happen this year. It's a little more likely than I gave it credit to because I think we talked about this. The accounting rule changed, so I'm probably no, but I'm probably not that super confident. I'd say no. 60% is probably the right way.
You were yes 90%. I was yes 95%. So I was more confident than you last time.
Yeah, I think it's unlikely. I'm a lot less bullish on this, but I think it's like 40% chance that it happens. Yeah, I can give it that.
Right.
That's about what.
I'm more confident again than you. I'm gonna say no, 80%. I'm gonna go pretty high on this one.
Oh, so you're pretty sure they won't this time, not
right? Yeah. No one's gonna let them say that right now. No marketer is gonna let them say we're putting Bitcoin there and be like, absolutely not right now. Save it for next year.
Well, any of the FANG I think the biggest reason I think that might happen this year versus last year is that the accounting rule changed. Just that was a big change. So
it didn't change yet. It's going to change this year.
It did change. I think it changed the end of last year or something. So or it's about to change. So it'll be officially changing this year, effectively, for their accounting purposes.
That's interesting.
So I think, which actually increases the odds that they do it.
I could be super wrong then.
And that would be when they put like 1% or 2% on it, and it wouldn't be a problem for them for the look through issue because it would actually mark to market. So I could see one of them throwing 1 or 2%. I mean, honestly, Apple would be smart to throw.
So could there be
1 to 5% of their treasury?
Let me ask you. Treasury. Would there be? I mean, like I know you believe in Bitcoin and things like go, but like, are there other reasons a business would want to put Bitcoin on their balance sheet? Like because if it goes down, they can get a little bit of tax advantage. If it goes, like, are there other reasons?
So, I mean, the benefit of it going down is you could sell it and get the watch rule. You can buy it back pretty quickly without it triggering the watch rule. But you don't really want it to go down. The real reason is for it to go up, right? So. And it's pretty low. I mean, the benefit of buying it now is the market is kind of depressed. So if someone was thinking about it strategically and they had a lot of money, I'm thinking Apple, putting 1 to 5% of their Bitcoin on it, Bitcoin on their balance sheet makes a lot of sense. Let me just double check the accounting rule quick. Accounting rule change, Bitcoin, GAAP accounting rule. Okay. Yep, there it is. U.S. right there, October. So U.S. accounting rulemakers agree that crypto assets should be measured at fair value. This was October 17, 2022. Tokens like Bitcoin and Ethereum should be measured at the fair market value as that reflects the underlying economics of those transactions. The FASB ruled on October. So like that's the one. So that that basically changes the game, I think, significantly. This is October 12th, 22. And so I think that increases the odds that they do it, because now they can, the losses that they happen in real terms. So say you bought it at $60,000 and it went down to $20,000 for accounting purposes, that would be reflected like it is. But then if it goes back up to say $40,000, you get the gain. Whereas before you just had to stick with that $40,000 loss. So, and you had no reflection of the upside. So I think the having it reflect this real, rather than just this loss that sort of sits out there indefinitely until you sell it, is a real problem. And that's why a lot of people weren't doing it, to be honest. So I think it's much more likely that someone with a lot of cash puts, say, 1 to 5% in their portfolio in Bitcoin and leaves it. They're not going to be doing what Michael Saylor is doing, which is putting their whole treasury in it. It's not that kind of bet that they'll make. But someone will do it. The question is when. So if I said no 60% on this for any U.S. non-publicly traded, the next one's FANG. It's got to be no, but a higher percentage. FANG is going to be pretty hard. I would say I'm going to say 80% on that one, and then either Apple or Amazon at Bitcoin. Again, it's going to be higher. I think Apple, if any of them is going to do it, will be do it. And see what's Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, and Google. So Google could also do. Yeah. So let's call that 90% and make it a 10% difference. I think that's right. That's how I would do it. I think they're unlikely to do it. But the accounting rules increase the odds that they do it.
I'm going to go no, 90, 95%. I think this year businesses are just focused on let's just stabilize and not do anything new because we don't know what's happening with the economy.
Yeah. I think this has come up in board meetings already. So I know that publicly traded companies have been talking about this for a while. But with the accounting rules just prevent them from ever doing it. And the question is, do they have cash? It's got to be a company that has cash on the balance sheet. So, will another country besides El Salvador purposely buy Bitcoin to add to their reserves? It's really hard to answer. I would say yes, 60%, but I really don't know if that's right. I think it's what they did last year. One of the small guys, Latin America, Africa. We've got people making Bitcoin legal tender right now. So the idea that one of them would just say, okay, let's put a little bit on our reserves at the prices that we got right now. I could see it happening. So I'd say yes, 50%.
Pretty 50-50.
I also
on
say
this,
no.
So.
Yes, that's why I'm like 50%.
I'll
go slightly
yes,
bullish
55.
on it. Yes, 55% is what you said?
Yeah.
Okay. Now we get to the ones wrong. Actually, was there one of these where I was going to say 100%? Which would have been, I think that was it. Oh, I was going to say either Apple or Amazon at Bitcoin the Treasury. That's the one I was going to say 100%, I think. I think I'm going to do 100% right there.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll raise this one up to 90%. And then I'll raise this one up to, as a result, I'm going to have to raise everything up, I think, to make this logical. Because I have to pick one that is 100% to get to my, because this, I need to pick my 100%. So that might be it. That's going to be it. You're at 95, so I won't lose that much at that point. And this one will, okay. So that's my 100% one. I have to do one more that's to make it my full 100%, and that is going to be no. Will Bitcoin reach $1 million? The answer to that is no.
Yeah, that's no.
Will Bitcoin reach $500,000? No, and that's going to be 99%. I mean, honestly, if I could find one that I thought was a really three. What's it? What happening for three? Oh, will the S&P reach 500? I actually like this one better. That's 90. Okay, so will the S&P reach a new all-time high, 95%? I'm gonna put that at 100%. Reduce the either Apple's, Amazon. I think I had it at 90. Right, I'm gonna go back to what I wanted. 90, 80, 60. And then I'm gonna put 100% for 500 and 1 million, and I'm gonna call it quits. There's my 5. I think that's a better one.
Wow, going no 100% on a Bitcoin prediction, huh?
Yeah, on the price one,
but so crazy. Well, you were 95 last time.
Yeah, so not that far off.
Yeah.
Will Bitcoin reach $70,000? This is a big. When does the liquidity? So here's the thing. I think it's going to go. It's going a little higher now. I think it's going to go a little higher and settle in. And then it's basically a question of, does the liquidity crunch happen? Then how quickly does that bailout happen? And then do we get over $70,000? And then once we do, I think getting over $100,000 is pretty easy. Sometime after that, but the question is how quick after that, and that's where I think it's probably a 3 to 6 month lag time. That means that's let's say it happens the first 6 months, then you could get it in 9 months to a year in. I think it's possible, but I think it's unlikely because you need all of that to go right? And so I'm probably no 60%, but I'm not really that confident. And will Bitcoin reach $100,000? Honestly, if it hits $70,000, it's going to hit $100,000 pretty quickly after. So I'm probably no 70% there. And then will Bitcoin reach $250,000? Honestly, if it hits $100,000, I think it's 50-50 whether it hits $250,000. I think it'll be about give or take $250,000 after that, but it'll take a little longer. Obviously, it has to come after $100,000. So I'm gonna go 90% on that, maybe 85. Now I'm gonna go 90 because that's a large jump from 100 to $250,000. But I do think the next real major bull market, it'll take out 70, it'll take out 100, and it might take out 250. I think it's a decent chance it takes out $250,000. Probably a good 50-50 chance at that point. So. Actually, it's a 50-50 chance. I'm going to go maybe 95, maybe. But just keep in mind that I think it's very possible if we get that run. I don't feel like 90. I'll go 93. Not 95. That's the big question, I think, is how quickly does this happen?
I can see an argument, like maybe hit at 70 again. It didn't last time, and we were in a much buller market. I'm going to go no on all of them. Can't be more confident than you than 100%, but I'm going to go 80, 85, 90, 95, 99.
Okay, so 80,
85,
85,
90, 95, 99. Just, I don't think any of them are going to happen, but I also pretty confident. 70, I can see it. And if we hit 70, then yeah, I agree. It could easily hit 100 and then I'll cry. But
yeah.
So I've been wrong.
I think, and I think the biggest thing here would be, is there a liquidity crisis? Then if so, how quickly does that come? How quickly does the Fed reverse course and start QEing again? And then how long? And that'll probably come pretty quickly if it's a fast crash. But then how long is the lag time? So when does that happen? How much is the lag time between that and we start seeing the price reflect in Bitcoin?
Right. People need money. They need cash. And if QE happens, then they'll have cash and then they'll buy Bitcoin. I see what you're saying.
Yeah. And just not just us, everyone, anyone who could injected money will want the number one. It's basically just a liquidity battery. Sponge. It just sucks up liquidity like no tomorrow. That's what Bitcoin does. So I think so I think that's the fundamental question. I don't know the answer to this of like how quickly after that reverse course will it happen, but I'm pretty confident it does happen. It will reflect in the price. Okay. So now we get the personal questions. Will Nate resume paying his student loans in 2023? Last time I was very, very confident I wouldn't. This time I'm less confident. We already did the question about whether or not the Supreme Court. By the way, we need to change that one a little bit. We said, will SCOTUS find the student debt cancellation by Biden as unconstitutional? We need to change that. I said yes 85. You said yes 80%. I'm going to change that question a little bit to unconstitutional / or illegal, because I think they might just not say it unconstitutional. They might say this is against the law, but they're not saying he can't ever do this. It's just that the law didn't authorize him to do it, if that makes any sense. Which made sense.
Yeah.
But I think they might also phrase that as unconstitutional overreach of his power because Congress didn't delegate that authority to him. So then that comes to, okay, so I said yes 85, you said yes 80. I think if it happens, as I expect it to happen, there's a good chance that he then just decides to indefinitely put the hold on and fight that battle. because there's a lot more leeway for him to do that. And that will give him people pretty much what they want, which is he was trying to help student loan people with student loan debt. And he has a way to do it in a different way. Just so, well, you just don't resume payments, right? And make it the next guy's problem. And if that happens,
Right.
I think that's how I think we end up not paying it if we do. And I think it's an 85% chance. That's a 15% chance. I can't be any more than 85% sure that I'm not going to resume. And the question is, will he pull that trigger? And I'm 50-50 on that. So let's call it 42.5. So how about no? So the answer is no, 60%. Like something like, so it's basically no, 60% confident. But I think if I do, that's how it happens. By the way, for the record. So
you definitely know more about it than me, so I'm probably just gonna go with you on that one. I'll go a little bit. I don't know if I'm more or less confident. So you think he could just put a hold on it and be fine?
Yeah, I do think he can.
Yeah.
And he's been doing it for a long time. So did Trump.
It is worth 5 points. But I want to be more confident than you because I think you might be right, and I want more points. But I think I'm actually a little less confident. Let's go 58%.
58%.
Because I'm pessimistic on this one.
Will Nate get a raise beyond the standard raise for all employees? Usually 1%. I'm going to ask for it, so my guess is yes. So the answer to that is yes. And I really just think this is mostly in my wheelhouse. I think if I ask for it, I should be able to get at least more than that. I'd be a little shocked if I don't. I've been there 10 years. I'm going to ask for it. So I'm going to say, 95. I'm going to put my skin out there. How about that 95? I think it's really mostly in my wheelhouse.
I'll ride with you on that one too. I'm not gonna go.
Then will I get a raise of 10% or more? I think the answer to that is yes. If I get a substantial one. Last time I think it was last substantial one was a big 15% raise. So,
wow.
So I think the answer to that is yes. If that was 95, I'm gonna put this at say 85%. Let's call it that. It's a little less likely than just me getting a more raise than 1%.
I hope you get it. Yeah, I'll do the same. It's hard to have an opinion on these ones.
Yeah, we'll get a raise at 20% more. That's gonna be a lot harder. I gotta be honest. I'm gonna still put a yes because I think it's better to have yourself in good karma here. But I think I have to be realistic here and say it's less likely. So I'm gonna say 60% and move on. But that's more of me being hopeful than anything. I think if I'm being honest, it's going to be about 15% probably. That's why I asked him.
I'll be more confident than you and say, you can do it, Nate. I'm a yes, 75%.
You can do it. You can do it all night long. I really would prefer not to leave my company because I get lots of other benefits and money. Okay.
Right.
Will Luke get a promotion? This is a 5-point question for Luke.
So this one, when I wrote this one in here, the process was sort of more informal than it has been shown to be. There's been a lot of changes at my company. The process was a little bit more informal. Well, I was already lined up for a promotion, and then my boss got fired. And then it was very informal. And now they sent out and they said, you can apply on the website for a promotion. And I said, you know what? Screw you. I'm better at this than everyone else. So they'd have to kind of just come to me and offer me one. So I'm going to think the answer on that one is probably going to be a no, unless a bunch of people get laid off or leave, which has happened.
Okay.
So I'm going to go with no, but it's I don't really know what's going to happen. We could all get fired on Thursday with surprise meetings. So I'm going to say no, 65%.
65%. Okay. I just need to copy this over.
But the year's young.
Okay. Well, I'm going to say no. Well, the better odds give you the other way, right? So no, 60%.
Thanks, buddy.
Go for it, man. Go for it.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Okay, so the next one. Will Luke break 6 figures after taxes?
This one's a little bit harder because I would have to pick up a lot more freelance work, I think, to make it happen. Or I could also move out of my house and then rent my house, but then I don't know where I would live. So if I solve one of those two problems, I could break six figures after, but it's a long way to go because after tax money, man, it's a lot less than before tax money. So I'm more confident on this one though. I'm going to say yes. Man, I'm going to say yes 70%. I'm being pretty confident on that. I'm going to really try.
7%. Okay. He's going to. Okay. Yes. Well, I'm yes. 75, baby. Go for it.
Heck yeah. I do think about like just moving out and living in a trailer next to Maria's parents' house. So
that'd be an extreme choice. Or what we could do is actually make money on the podcast, but that would be a pipe dream. Which gets us to our last section.
Yeah.
I'd rather be
These
right.
Numbers will answer.
So just so you guys know, if you get both 4,000 public watch hours on YouTube and 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, you can start monetizing on YouTube. And we've been focused on YouTube for those of you that don't know. And we've had some success there, but we are way below both of those things right now. So we've got a long hike to do it. But then there's some other questions that might just give us help across the board. So those are the two most important ones. Those are worth 5 points. The other ones that we're going to go through first are worth 3 points to us. And this is, will we have more than 1,000 viewers on average total from all platforms? I think the answer to that is yes, honestly. I think that one on Facebook is killing it, and we're not even trying at this point.
Yeah.
So I think the answer to that is yes, almost. And I go very high on that. 95%, I think it's very likely. We just keep putting out good content because that was all we had to do on Facebook. And we got very close to that on both YouTube and TikTok without any trouble. And Facebook's just killing it. So just put out good content on both those. So
yeah,
it seems like that's mostly in our destiny here.
Yeah.
Okay, then we go to 5,000 viewers on average. I still think that's pretty high because we're busting that on Facebook right now without trying. So we keep putting out good stuff. We're good. I think I'm going to go yes. Say
same.
90%, maybe just a little bit less.
Yeah, a little bit less confident, but
yeah. And then will we have more than 10,000 viewers on it? That's going to be a little harder. That's a big jump from 5,000 to 10,000.
That's a big jump.
I don't think it's possible. So I think I'll say yes.
No.
Say 70%. I think it's a little bit probably more.
Yeah, a year might be kind of fast, but it does grow exponentially once you start growing. It's hard to tell.
Yeah. We're not that far from that Facebook one, right? So that's what I'm trying to tell you. We're not that far off of it. We're at $6,000 right there without trying.
Yeah.
So
I'm with you on that one. 70 seems like a fair.
Will we have at least 4,000 public watches hours on YouTube? That's going to be hard, but I think we just need to say yes.
But
strategically, we have to say yes and just own it.
So
and 1,000 subscribers. Weirdly enough, I think if 1,000 subscribers might be easier.
I think
we're doing lots of shorts.
The watch hours are. Yeah. I definitely think we can do the subscribers.
Subscribers, I'm going to say, let's say 85%. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
That's pretty likely.
Every time we post a video, we get a couple subscribers. So if we just keep pumping it out, it's inevitability to get the subscribers. The 4,000 public watch hours means we got to keep them around so they watch a bunch of stuff. That one's kind of harder.
So I'm going to go, how about, I don't want to go 75. I feel that's too low. 80%.
Yeah.
I just want to own it.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm same.
80 and 85%. Okay, so we got it. We're wrapped up. So there you guys go. Let us know what you guys are curious about and what you guys have predicted. Because I'm curious to hear what you guys think about all these crazy ass predictions we're making. And please like, subscribe, share, so we can help us with that. Make these things come true.
Heck yeah. Let's do it, everybody. Thanks for listening.
All right, thanks.